The studio lights glowed warm across the set of the Kelly Clarkson show, the crowd buzzing with excitement as Kelly stepped out, her bright smile lighting up the room. She waved, her energy contagious, and the audience cheered, ready for another mix of humor, heart, and honesty. Today's guest was Mark Wahlberg, the Hollywood star known for his tough roles, sharp humor, and reputation for saying what he really thinks. Kelly, in her opening monologue, teased the interview with her usual wit, joking about Mark's workout routines and his ability to steal every scene he's in. The audience laughed, but there was a faint tension in the air that no one could explain. Backstage, Mark paced in the green room, his usual confidence edged with restlessness. His team hovered, offering fixes and water, but he waved them off. He'd done countless interviews before, Kimmel, Fallon, Colbert. He knew the drill. Keep it light, promote the movie, smile. But something about today felt off. Maybe it was the rumors about Kelly asking deeper questions, or maybe it was the phone call that morning from someone from his past, bringing bad news. Whatever it was, Mark wasn't in the mood to pretend. When the stage manager signaled, Mark walked out. The crowd cheered as he waved and smiled tightly. Kelly greeted him with a warm hug, but his return was stiff, his eyes scanning the audience. They settled into their chairs on the cozy living room-style set. Kelly started easy, asking about his new movie, a high-energy thriller getting buzz from critics. Mark answered smoothly, almost too polished, like reading lines he didn't believe. The audience chuckled at his jokes about stunts and explosions, but Kelly noticed the edge under his charm. She gently shifted gears. "So how do you balance all this? Hollywood, family, kids?" she asked. Mark's smile faltered just a second. "It's tough," he said, his accent thicker. "People think they know you, but they don't. They see the fame, not the real stuff." Kelly leaned in, her tone soft. "What's the real stuff, Mark?" The room went still. Mark hesitated, then said sharply, "You want real? People love to tear you down. They don't care what it takes to stay up." Kelly stayed calm. "Sometimes sharing a bit of yourself helps people understand you," she said gently. Mark let out a short, hard laugh. "Humanize me? Sounds like a trap." The crowd shifted uneasily. Kelly kept her composure, sensing he was on edge. "Come on, Mark. You've been at this long enough to know people root for honesty," she said. He leaned forward. "What's holding me back? Maybe I don't trust this. I've seen how it goes. You open up, and the next day your words are twisted into headlines." The audience gasped softly. Kelly's smile thinned, but stayed steady. "This is a safe space," she said. "We're just talking," Mark scoffed. "Safe space? That's what they all say. Then it's edited and clipped for clicks." The tension thickened. Kelly raised her hand slightly. "Okay, fair. Let's talk about the movie then. What drew you to it?" But Mark saw through the pivot. "It's about a guy who fights for what's his," he said. "Maybe I relate too much today." Nervous laughter rippled through the crowd. Kelly's voice softened again. "Relate how?" she asked. "You've built this career, a family, a legacy. What are you fighting for?" Mark paused, his jaw tight. "I'm fighting the idea that I owe everyone a piece of me," he said, voice rising. "That I have to smile and pretend I'm fine. I'm tired of it." The crowd reacted, some nodding, others uneasy. Kelly met his intensity. "You're in the spotlight because people care," she said. "They want to know you." Mark shook his head. "They don't want me. They want a version of me they can sell." The lights seemed hotter. The studio felt smaller. Kelly leaned forward. "Nobody's putting you in a box," she said. "I just want to understand what's got you so guarded." Mark stared at her. "You really want to know? I got a call this morning. Someone I trusted is trying to drag up old things, personal things, to use against me. So yeah, I'm not exactly in the mood to play along." The crowd gasped. Kelly's voice softened further. "That's hard, Mark. You don't have to share more, but I'm listening." He looked at her for a moment, torn between opening up or shutting down. Then he snapped, "That's the problem. Everyone's listening, waiting to twist my words." The room grew tense again. Kelly tried to ground him. "You don't have to carry it alone," she said. Mark let out a dry laugh. "That's all I've ever done. This," he gestured to the cameras, "doesn't make it easier. It's a circus." The audience gasped louder. Kelly stayed calm. You're here and that means something. That's strength, she said. Mark's eyes hardened. Strength is knowing when to walk away. The stage manager gestured frantically off camera, but Kelly stayed focused. Walk away from what? She asked carefully. This show or everything? Maybe both, Mark said, standing up suddenly. I don't need this, the audience whispered as Kelly stood too, reaching out. Mark, wait, she said. But he was already walking off stage. The crowd sat frozen as he disappeared behind the curtain. Kelly stood center stage, collecting herself. The camera stayed on her as she turned to the audience. That was intense, she said evenly. But we'll keep it real. Let's take a breath. The crowd clapped softly. She smiled, steady again. This job's about real moments. Mark's going through something. We all do. Her honesty settled the room. Backstage, Mark paced again while his team watched nervously. A producer approached. We can fix this, Mark. Just a quick return segment. He glared. Fix it? I'm not a puppet. But her calm response hit home. You can walk out like that, or walk back in on your terms. Mark hesitated, glancing at the monitor showing Kelly talking with grace and empathy. His expression softened. Fine, he said quietly. But I'm doing it my way. When Mark walked back out, the crowd erupted. Kelly's surprise showed, then turned into relief. He stood center stage. I owe you an apology, he said. I came in angry. That wasn't fair. The audience went quiet. Kelly smiled softly. You don't owe me anything. You came back. That's what matters. He sat again, more relaxed this time. That call this morning, he said, messed me up. I've worked hard to move forward, and it felt like someone wanted to pull me back. Kelly nodded. We've all been there, she said. You showing up again says more than any headline ever could. The crowd murmured in support. Mark gave a small grin. You make it hard to stay mad, Kelly. The audience laughed. Kelly chuckled. That's the goal, she said. Now tell us about this movie. He's a fighter, right? Mark smirked. Yeah. He doesn't quit. Guess I can relate. The crowd laughed again, the tension dissolving. The rest of the interview flowed easily. Mark's guard dropped. Kelly's warmth brought him back. When it ended, the audience rose in a standing ovation. Not just for the star, but for the honesty they'd witnessed. Kelly hugged him, and this time it was genuine. As Mark left the stage, she turned to the camera, her smile calm but meaningful. That's what this show's about, she said. Real people. Real moments. The crowd cheered as the screen faded to black.